So this is the Xtrons head unit. It's in a Fiat 500 2016 UK car. This is probably going to be the second video of 3 videos, but this will be coming out first. So this one is going to be the Xtrons head unit first impressions. Then there'll be a prequel, which will be the previous head unit, plus, which was the factory fitted one, plus unboxing of this head unit. Okay, so then this will then be the second one, the first impressions of the Xtrons head unit, and then the third one will be after I've lived with it for a few weeks, and perhaps when I've got the camera fitted as well, because I want to get a rear camera fitted as well to this, plus anything else that I've learned. So okay, so this is the second video. Now it's an Xtrons head unit. It's supposed to be designed for the Fiat 500. We'll come on to that later. You can see outwardly, physically, it actually fits quite well. You can, if you look very closely, there is a very tiny gap, I don't know if you can see it, just at the top, which is not at the bottom, and I'm wondering whether it's because occasionally Fiat changes the design very slightly depending on whether you've got the head unit previously just played music, or whether it had got the navigation and everything else in. Either way, I mean, the fascia actually fits it okay, and you don't even really see that little gap if you were looking for it. So it's almost a perfect fit. Xtrons also doesn't have their name slapped all over the head unit, so if you didn't know better, you'd probably think that this actually came with the car, because it does actually integrate quite well with it in some ways. Right, so what we've got, it says RST down there. Next to it is a little tiny thing you can push in, I think with a hairpin, something like that. Reset, I'm guessing that's the standard way of doing it for Android devices, because otherwise, I mean, there's plenty of room to write reset. There's a microSD card for audio, though you can put video on it or photos. That is a 128 gigabyte microSD card. I've tried to get a fast one, but even so, I've got a feeling it might be slowing the whole thing down a little bit. We'll see. Volume on off switch. GPS, I think that's if you want to download maps. Say you're about to start off outside your house, you've got Wi-Fi, you're going to be going on a journey, you want to download over Wi-Fi your route, maybe it goes on that card, I'm not certain, I've not tried it yet. And microphone, which is fairly good. I've actually had a few people call me and it works fine. So yeah, you can see perfectly good microphone, don't really need an external microphone. Home button, back button, Google Maps, FM radio. The radio on this not very good, forward and back buttons, but the buttons themselves actually quite nice, sort of a little bit quite soft touch, not too bad, not clicky, but not bad. And also you can control the stereo with the steering wheel, so if you wanted to go forward or back or up or down in volume, there's lots of different ways you can do it. Right then, so let's now turn. Oh, a couple of things I'll say. I bought this from the Xtrons UK the Xtrons UK website. It arrived in about 2 days. If you log in, you get a bit of. If you create a login, give them your email, it gives you a little bit of a reduction. They don't spam you with emails, tend to send you an email about once every few weeks or whatever, about whatever their latest offer is. But if you want to log in, you can do it that way. This is also on Amazon, so if you'd rather buy this from Amazon, you can get it from Amazon as well. That said, I sent Xtrons an email and didn't get a response to it. So, and because I was asking, how do you set this thing up properly? Because the software on it is set up for what looks like, well, everything but a UK Fiat, I think. But we'll come on to that. Now, when I switch this on, oh, I'll also say, Xtrons, they didn't send me this for free or anything. I bought it, so it's about £265 on the Amazon website at the moment, which is about what I paid for it. I also bought an OBD2 plug-in, and I've got a rear camera. So this is not sponsored or anything else like that. Now when I switch this on, this is going from a cold boot, so this is going from completely dead, and this is the way it's set up. I think you might be able to do like a warm reboot where it'll like start up quicker, but then I think it slowly could drain your battery given long enough. I'm not sure, so I prefer it the way it is at the moment. It does take a while to start up, and I'm not sure if it's because it's also reading the SD card, which is slowing everything down because of how big it is and how much music's on it. But we'll see. But I'll sort of show you. If I turn the ignition on. Okay, ignition's on. Okay, first we get a Fiat logo. That is set in from the settings. Then it will say Android starting. One thing I will say is that whatever you were doing last with it, so if you were playing a music track, it will start up with that music track. If you're halfway through the music track, it will start up at that halfway point, so it does remember where it got to when it was switched off. Okay, now another thing, every time it starts up with kilometers per hour. I don't know why. I keep changing it to miles per hour. I've tried altering it in the settings. It seems to be determined to stick on kilometers per hour. Okay, so that's a little bit annoying. Right, but that's your home screen. If you go across, if you want to play some music, let me just make sure the volume's down, play music, just to make sure it's not going to come up with anything for a content match. Now it does seem to take a little while to sort of go through the SD card, which I think is partly because I wasn't playing music last time. It's now doing it now. If it's been switched on from completely off to playing the music again, I think it would have took longer. I think one of the things that's slowing this down is the fact it's a big SD card that it's got to sort of read. You'll see that this will sort of swirl around a bit, then it will stop swirling like that, and then it'll start playing. So it takes its time to actually read the SD card. It's probably because it's so big, but I quite like having a lot of music with me, and being able to sort of play it. So sometimes I can sort of I've been playing a track, got part way through it, parked up, come back to the car later, restarted the head unit, and then to actually get back there again. This is YouTube music, so it shouldn't get a content match. So it can be slow getting back to your music. It's supposed to be an 8-core processor and 2 GB of RAM, but that's not really a lot for Android. 2 GB is a little bit small. Let me just try to turn the light off, sort of see whether that looks any better. If I turn the headlights on, you can see how these buttons here light up at the side as well. You can change those colours. Okay, if you want to go to the next track, you can do it like that, or you could do it by the steering wheel. This audio player came came with the head unit. So if you play music from MP3, or it also plays Windows Media Audio, or it plays FLAC, or it plays even high resolution FLAC, if it's got the album art, it will actually put the album art there. Why it's showing a CD, I don't know, because I mean, they've gone, haven't they? But yeah. Digital sound processing, you've got smart bass, turn that off or on, go back, change the balance. You can change pretty much everything on here. So you've got okay, so there's plenty you can sort of alter on that lot. Delay settings, I mean, you can sort of, there's plenty to sort of play with on there. Alright, okay, so that would be a home screen. It keeps defaulting to kilometers. In fact, that's about the only place where I've actually seen them even call it Xtrons, just on the tail of that car. Okay. Yeah, headlights on. Right, so next, so you can have the home screen playing, the music in that corner, that's your sort of most recent apps. You flick across, Google Maps, that's fine, it actually goes full screen. Radio, not very good on this, can't really pick up a fat lot on the radio. Video, it plays Windows Media Video, MP4s and AVI files. Music is that. Bluetooth, yep, set up with for me. Bluetooth music, if you want a Bluetooth from your phone. Not tried AV in. Car info. There's a few things you can set up here, like door locks or whatever. I keep English US is the only thing it defaults to. There's no English UK on this. Digital signal processing, we've already seen that one. Android Auto, I've not got to work on this, don't know why. Chrome's web browser, not tried that, not really sort of my thing anyway. You can go into, let me see if I can do it. Is it on this? No, not on you. There. Okay, so if you go into, what was it, car infotainment, down to about device, press on the cog there, press 887A OK, and then you get into like a menu for setting up all sorts of things on here, which I've tried to sort of change it so that it will default to some kind of UK Fiat 500, but I haven't been able to find it. So it's set up with, at the moment, the closest match, which I think is a Fiat Doblo. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Okay, if you go back, you can have all sorts of things here. You can have it so that you can't play videos on the move, or you can. Sound, okay, that takes you back to that. Volume, if you want different volumes for different things. Display, I've had the display, well, I prefer the display on both to be up full. Okay. Okay, this is Android 11 on here. Not tried the gallery, not really wanting to put photos on here. DAB Plus works great. it sort of makes a couple of little stutters, and then
develop onshore domestic manufacturing of semiconductors critical to US competitiveness and national security.
I won't go to any of the music ones because it'll probably get a
Meanwhile,
contact
Xi
match.
Jinping, China's leader, has described the creation of a
fine.
fully
topic switch, if you want to change the head unit, press that. Okay, and then we've got a different looking head unit. So we've got nice big buttons, and that's your home screen. If you want to change back, press that, change that, change that. Okay, if you want to change the background, go to wallpapers, set wallpaper. Okay, and now we've got like a, can you see that, like a Starfield effect. Press again at the bottom, page animation, if you want to change to a different animation, then you can do that. And then they sort of drop in differently, so you can do that too. Okay, I'm going to just change it to something fairly straightforward. In fact, we'll have that one. That will do. Okay, if you want to know what the car's doing, because I've got this OBD2 attached, you put that on, give it a couple of seconds for it to connect via Bluetooth. You'll know when it's connected because the revs will come up. It still says connecting. And there we go. So, if I rev the engine, okay, so I don't know if that's useful for anyone, but if you really wanted to see everything that your car's doing while you're driving, well, you could. Okay, that looks like a huge amount of information there. Not sure that I can understand any of it, but might be useful to someone. It's interesting to look at. GPS, yeah, it can pick up certainly lots of satellites for the maps, but not Galileo for some reason. But GPS, no problem, so it's okay for that. YouTube, okay, you can see it's a little bit slow, but if I go into there,
enjoy unlimited online access to the 1921 census.
Just get past the adverts. Great, we seem to have lots of, I guess all the Christmas adverts are going to be starting. Now this is actually running off my Wi-Fi created by my phone, so it's not too brilliant. Intel Atom processor. Okay, but I think it's probably not the best Wi-Fi at the moment. So it's probably, I think the video might be a bit high res for it or something, and it's had to drop it down. I'm not sure. It normally does actually look, videos on this normally look better. What if it'll go higher? That looks a little bit better, maybe. But anyway, so YouTube does work. Probably better if you got a decent Wi-Fi or anything else, but it does work. So let's go back. And I think that's most of it. See, kilometers again. Right, stop going to kilometers. I prefer miles an hour. Why do you keep defaulting to that? But okay, so home screen. Google Maps is great, but you have to create a Wi-Fi for it to use it properly using your phone. Radio, not very good. Video works fine, though I took the videos off the SD card because I'm not going to sit watching videos. Music, I put a 128GB micro SD card in. It plays MP3s, it plays Windows Media Audio, it plays FLAC, it plays high resolution FLAC. Bluetoothing from your phone works fine, not tried AV. Car info, that all seems to be okay. DSP, that works great. Android Auto, not got that working. Chrome, not worried about web paging. Settings, right, don't forget there's a hidden menu. If you go into car infotainment, about device, and then cog, and then AA78, and okay, and then you can start altering some of the things in there. DAB worked great. Play Store, I've downloaded an app, BBC Weather, that worked. Topic switcher, you can change the theme, and that's, yeah, and if you want all the dials you can have that as well. So a lot of this works. Still got to sort of try to figure out why do you keep defaulting to kilometers an hour. Stop doing it. And I've still got to put reversing camera onto this as well. And I think that's it. Done.